The winter of 1976, I was 9 years old. Me and a buddy of mine were coming from Royal Oak to walk up to Tiny Tim's, which was up by 13 Mile and Woodward. My mother knew this. I'd be definitely in trouble because everyone was on lockdown at the time. And we found a bike sitting up next against a tree, and it was a purple Stingray bike, girl's bike, with a banana seat. And we're like, cool, now we don't have to walk. But after a little, just not even half a block or a block, I felt, man, this isn't right. Because if this is my bike, I wouldn't want it to be lifted like that. So it seemed like no one around looking for the bike. We took it in back of the shop on Woodward and went in and told the people to, go in there. We'll go in there and we'll have them call the police, say this bike is stolen. So we did that and waited to see when the police drove up. I actually saw the police drive up, and we took off. And this was in between 12 and Catalpa on Woodward. And that's the last time I seen the bike or heard anything about it until it was in the news, and they said they recovered it in downtown Royal Oak, which was not true whatsoever. And I kept my mouth shut about it because I'd get in trouble probably even 20 years after the fact. So I never said anything about it. Bike never that I saw went past 12 Mile North or south of Catalpa. It was always in that little area because we only drove for like a block and a half maybe. And we had dropped it off in the back of this business. It was on a corner. We walked around and said, call the cops. I think this bike is stolen. And we hung out about a block down the road to wait till the police come. We saw the police car and we took off. So I guess the bottom line is this. I know where I left the bike. I watched the police officers arrive at the scene of the bike off of Woodward. In 2007, I talked to Detective Cory, and he basically dismissed me out of hand. And I can tell you for sure my fingerprints are on that bike. If they care to run fingerprints again, I'm sure my fingerprints will pop up. So I don't know what they're doing or anything. I've never been contacted, never been emailed and contacted in any way, shape, or form about Jill's bike, which I found in December of 1976. And it's just too bad because that could be a very vital clue that's gone unlooked at for over 35 years, and it's sad. I can't talk to too many people because they just freak out. I mean, my cousins knew Mark Stebbins, and I approached my one cousin about it, and she just wouldn't stop crying, and apparently I'm not going to talk about that to her anymore. And the overall fear that was in Royal Oak at the time and the surrounding cities of Birmingham, Berkeley, Troy still pervades to this day. So the only outlet I have is to talk about it on Helen's site and in these videos. So the guy who did this knows who did it, knows where he left the bike. I found it propped up against a tree when there was no one around, and we rode it for a little while. Then we had them call the police, and that was that. Because I was way away from my house, shouldn't have been. And if my mother knew that, then I would have been probably grounded still. I mean, it was a big deal back then. I mean, now people argue and talk about it like it was just something they read. And in most cases, it is something that they read. They don't know what the feeling was like at that time. And the reason why I parked the bike and we decided to call the police because I just didn't feel right. And, you know, I felt that something was wrong. If it was my bike, I wouldn't want it to be, you know, just taken like that. And it turned out it was a lot bigger than I ever thought it could be.